and they really want to bring home the trophy.
Betsy, I have a question. As much as Monica Seles concentrates, do you think she would know that she did not lose a point on her serve?
She might think she hasn't lost very many, but I know Monica pays a lot of attention to her serve. She'd love to have the serving speed in the corner. She always looks over to see how fast she's serving.
And there it is, the first point for Conchita Martinez on Monica Seles' serve.
And interesting, too, how she lost it. It was Martinez for the first time coming in. I mean, finally got to look at something a little bit short. That big forehand drew a weak reply. And she can flatten out that forehand. She can move in. She's a very good volleyer, a good doubles player.
Well, there's no streak of points yet for Conchita Martinez.
And quite a few streaks for Seles. At one point, she won 12 of 13 points. Shots like that.
Monica just served at first serve fault, just out by an inch.
Second serve.
One of the few unforced errors.
I was just going to say, a rare error. I mean, the fifth one from Seles. She only had 4 in that opening set. First serve. This is Seles' first break point against her, but look at her serving numbers. Very, very high. 70% for serves in. She's winning 93% of those points.
And this would just be huge for Conchita Martinez to start the second set with a break.
Now look here at a second serve for Martinez. Let's see if she tries to attack, do something with the ball. Well, again, Martinez, in my opinion, just way too far behind the baseline. I mean, you can't give away that much court and expect to hurt Seles, who's standing inside the baseline.
And let's face it, on big points against Monica, you've got to gamble. You can't expect Monica to give it to you.
So from a break point now to a game point for Seles. One of the best played points Martinez has played in this match. Her job was to try to get Seles on the run, exactly like the return did, and then she came into the net and had an easy volley. She really needs to try to make Seles run as much as she can and avoid getting into a hitting battle.
So the longest Game of the match is back to deuce.
Second serve. Conchita thought she had another double fault.
And she does. And for the second time in this opening service game of the second set, the Spaniard has a break point as her teammates watch on.
I shouldn't have said another double fault because that was Celis's first double.
Conchita Martinez breaks the serve of Monica Seles. And that's a positive thing for Conchita after a disastrous first set. So let's see whether or not she can consolidate and hold serve when we come back. To the first of the Fed Cup final matches, Monica Seles won the first set 6-2, is down an early break. This fall, bowling has a new look on ESPN. The PBA Tour begins Wednesday, October 9th with the Cleveland Open live on ESPN. I wonder if Monica bowls.
I don't know.
Probably.
Do you?
Maybe it'd help loosen up her shoulder. If she does, I bet she bowls hard.
15. Another error from Seles in the whole first set. Seles only had 4 unforced errors. And she's had 4 already. 3 in the first game and 1 just now. Seles was very hot in the first set. Martinez was just missing a lot.
Conchita had been trying to hit that center service line on that ad side, and she finally does so well here.
And the reason it is so effective, she gets that spin after the ball hits the court. It keeps going away from Seles. Boy, she has good hands, doesn't she? There's not much that Conchita Martinez can't do with the ball. No one's ever questioned her talent.
But they maybe do question her dedication, her fitness sometimes.
Her heart sometimes. We've seen occasions where Martinez will just go away when things don't go her way. You don't see it when the flag's flying overhead.
And now 3 points for a 2-love lead.
Well, if you're going to serve your third double, I guess that's not a bad time, 40-love.
Except, boy, leads can disappear in a hurry against Monica Seles.
Roll all 3 of them down.
That's the voice
Pull
of
them down, then come back to the net.
Donna Butler, making sure the ball kids have the balls down to the right end. Conchita Martinez does hold on and takes a 2-0 lead as her teammates are happy. Arantxa coming up next in the singles. NHL Tonight season preview. ESPN2 starts off its 96 coverage of the National Hockey League with a look at the season to come. That's Tuesday at 11:30 p.m. and 8:30 on the West Coast. So a big game now for Monica Seles. What a turnaround this second set.
Well, I mean, Monica played so well in the first set. Martinez was mishitting a lot of balls, struggling to keep them in play. She knows what she's got to do. She's trying to move Seles around. 15. But to do that, she's got to keep balls in play. She can't miss as much as she did in the first set. Third ace from Seles. Seles served so well in that first set. didn't lose a point on serve until she got broken in the very first game of the second set.
Hitting behind Monica is a great play.
Especially when Monica is looking for Martinez to keep the ball out wide. Because Martinez has the kind of game that she can create tremendous angles. She gets so much spin. Looks fired up there. Martinez standing a little bit closer to the baseline, and Celis' shots dropping just a little bit shorter. So you'll hear the sound of the ball off the racket that caught a piece of the wood, and that happened an awful lot in the first set.
That was a 15-30 point, so Monica was pleased that forehand went long. Conchita not yet ready, so she held Monica up.
From Martinez forced Celis to hit the one-hander. And that ball stays low, and it's tough to control it when it's that low, and you've got an opponent at the net who can volley well. So another break point opportunity for Martinez. Nice serve from Celis to get herself out of trouble.
Betsy, it's interesting for a left-hander how many big points Monica likes to go down the center on the ad side instead of out wide.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, a natural lefty loves to swing that serve in the ad court. Celis likes to go down the tee. Good shot there from Celis. That's what she was doing in the first set. That's what she's done her whole career, is to be able to create angles harder and more consistently than any other player.
Again, Conchita making Monica wait just a bit. Well, after a bit of a struggle, facing another break point, Monica hangs on to hold serve and closes the gap in the second set to 2-1. Martinez serving when we come back. Back inside the convention center, where Conchita Martinez is up 2-1 in the second set, and Mary Jo Fernandez watching. Our insider, she has a word on how the Americans are set to deal with the psyche of Conchita Martinez.
Conchita Martinez has a very difficult task ahead of her against Monica Seles today. She's never beaten Monica Seles, and I know from experience, I've never beaten Steffi Graf in a tournament, how difficult that is to overcome mentally when you step out on the court against them. You say, gee, I played him 15 times and I've never had a win. What does it take to be able to win against them? So if she can't overcome that and have a positive attitude when she steps on the court against Monica, she's going to have to get a lot of her serves in. She has a very good and deceptive service motion that can confuse Monica, so if she gets a high percentage of first serves in, she's got a good chance.
Well, that's certainly having a high percentage of first serves in. It was an ace, her second.
Martinez has become much more aggressive in this second set. First set, she only had 3 winners in the whole set. In the first 3 games of the second set, she's had 6 winners. Look at her percentages. Seles dropped a little bit. She was up to 70 in the first set. She's down to 65. Martinez at 54. Martinez taking her full time here. She did an awful lot of running in that point. Celis stretched her out way beyond the alleys. In fact, it looked like Celis had an opportunity to put the ball away at that one stage and didn't do it.
Well, that missed forehand volley gives Conchita Martinez the game and a 3-1 lead. She is a terrific Fed Cup player and is showing it here in the second set.
And just looking over at her career in 9 years of Fed Cup play, she's been a very important part of Spain's winning 4 times, 4 in the last 5 years. The last 3 consecutive years Spain has beaten. Won the Fed Cup, beat U.S. the last 2 years.
The key to having a good Fed Cup team is having a strong number 2 player, and Spain has that. So many teams have a good number 1, but then they fall off at number 2, and obviously the U.S. has strong number 1s and number 2s.
Love 50.
They've played 10 times. Conchita has never won a set. Matter of fact, 3-1. This may be her best opportunity ever.
Only 1 set in her 9 matches, gone to 7-5, and that was back at the French Open in '91 in the quarters on the slow red clay. 6-love, 7-5 for Celis.
Scroll it down.
Set up there, the good serve. Got the short answer reply and punished the ball in the middle of the court. That's why it's important for Celis to serve well, because she will get something that she can destroy off the return of serve. We've mentioned how successful Spain has been in recent years in Fed Cup, but the U.S. is the winningest nation in Fed Cup history. This is their 23rd final. They've won it 14 times. They haven't won it since '90.
So Monica looking to have her first easy service game in this second set after having only love service games in the first. And she holds and closes it to 3-2 in the second set. Conchita Martinez, let's see if she can continue to strengthen her lead in this second set. Second set, 2-3. Monica is playing in her second Fed Cup tie, but she already knows what ingredients make for a tough opponent.
With Spain, I think, is that they have 2 really consistent players who you have to play some great tennis to beat. So it's a lot of pressure, because usually one country will have the second player who's a little bit easier, but with Spain, both of them are really tough. So we got to be careful that we go in, each of us takes it match at a time and just stays really focused.
Thank you.
Conchita Martinez about to start her service game, the 6th game of the second set. Monica knows that she's now in deep trouble in this second set. Things are distracting her. People are walking around at the back of the court.
Now, she also knows she can't take Martinez lightly. I mean, even though she's never lost a set, the last time they played, it was close, it was competitive. She also knows how much Martinez loves playing Fed Cup. Big serve there for Martinez. Ace number 3. She's really picked up her serving in this second set. She was only at 45% in the first set. She's at 89% first serves in this second set. Only dropped 1 point on serve, and that was when she served a double fault.
Wow, and another ace, her 4th. You know, we're talking about Spain singles players. One's ranked 2 in the world, the other's 3 in the world. Last year, I believe Conchita Martinez was the #1 player. This year, Arantxa is. So there's nothing between their #1 and #2 players.
No, and I mean, Conchita and Arantxa have swapped back and forth between 2 and 3 in the world consistently over the last couple of years.
Go, go. Go, go.
The second point dropped on serve for Martinez. Both of them have been double faults. That was the 4th. Well, Monica hasn't looked at too many second serves in the second set. Conchita's been serving a very high percentage of first serves. And it's a good thing, because that's what Monica does if she gets a look at a second serve.
Forehand winner gives Monica Seles her first break opportunity in the second set, and that's all she had almost in the first set. Broke Conchita twice.
Not enough on that attempted drop shot, or it wasn't wide enough. It was meant to draw Seles off the court.
Conchita was up 30-love in this game. She's lost the last 3 points and hasn't made a first serve.
Good change-up from Martinez. She mixes up that backhand side so well. She has the good heavy slice that she plays. Ball stays pretty low, and then she can step in and unleash a big one-handed topspin down the line. Nice way to save a break point.
Opportunity for Monica to get the break back. Seles dropped her opening service game of the second set.
Good play from Martinez. Again, she plays that slice and stays so low, it forced Seles to play a one-handed forehand. Seles had to hit it pretty defensively. Right there, you can see Martinez now can attack, and wrong foot
down.
Celis.
Thank you.
Closes in nicely to punish that volley.
We roll them down. Both of them. Okay.
Well, the ball kids are very inexperienced. It's the first match of the Fed Cup tie, so Donna Butler having to give a lot of instruction.
Advantage United States.
Fifth double. 2 of them coming in this game.
And now break point number 3. Trying to get to 3-all.
Due. A violation of all penalties. Warning United States.
Goodness gracious. Did Monica yell something? Obviously. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, me too. I missed it completely.
I heard something, but I didn't know it came from Monica, and I didn't know it was obscene. I just heard a noise.
Nevertheless, a break point saved. Third one in this game.
We'll go up in position.
So after 3 break points against the service of Conchita Martinez, she now has a game point. She's trying to hang on to this break lead, get to 4-2. Monica's shaking her head. She looks worried, and I'm sure she's upset about the warning.
Well, she certainly had chances to even this set up at one point. Martinez was just 1 point away from a 3-love lead in the second set. She had broken Celis, had a break point, held her own, and then had a break point again to take a 3-love lead. Didn't convert. Well, Celis is struggling in the second set. That time, she got it. Again, she was forced to drop the hand, play the one-handed forehand. Martinez coming in to pick up the drop shot. Again, goes back behind Celis. And that pass found its mark. Smile from Billie Jean King.
Maybe the audible obscenity came from Billie Jean. That's more like it.
And, you know, we haven't talked about Billie Jean in this match much. She said she was going to stay pretty quiet. And she has not jumped out of her chair very much at all. And we're pretty used to seeing her jumping out of a chair when a point like that is played for a winning point for the U.S. Break point number 4.
crucial break back for Monica Seles to level the second set at 3-all. Major League Baseball. Then there were 8 teams will compete, but only one will become World Series championships. That's the playoffs coming up this Tuesday through Thursday, October 7th. And go Orioles. Huge weekend.
Do you care how the Orioles do?
Oh, just a little bit.
Wait, please. Pick up that ball in the corner, please. Thank you.
I've never heard an umpire
do so much coaching to the ball kids.
They probably should have had a practice match with the ball kids.
Boy, that was a huge game that just finished for the U.S., for Seles in this match. Took her 4 break points to finally get the break.
She's going to get it by the end of this weekend, by about the 5th match. Well, Conchita Martinez does a great job here with the forehand off, very near that sideline. Monica's not even in the picture.
It's interesting to note their court positioning again. Seles is working her way back inside the baseline if at all possible. She's so willing to jump on top of the ball quicker than Martinez. Martinez is very comfortable to stay back behind the baseline. It's just too much court to cover, especially if Seles is connecting.
Conchita had to adjust her shoestrings, and then Monica backed away from the baseline, a lot like a pitcher to a batter.
Martinez sure has turned things around in this second set. 3 winners in the first set, 13 already in this second.
Well, Conchita had to turn it around. Otherwise, we'd probably be watching Davenport and Sanchez Vicario already. Of course, they're coming up next.
Come back and pick that up, please.
She just became much more aggressive altogether, Martinez. Only had 3 winners. I mentioned in that first set.
And that backhand pass gives Monica Seles the game and a 4-3 lead. And of course, these ball kids, we've been talking about them a lot today. They're having some trouble, but they're starting to get the hang of it, and they're loving this match. Well, welcome back to the first of these Fed Cup matches, and Monica Seles has crept in front in this second set. She was down the whole time in the last 2 games. She won them both. Billie Jean King was giving her a lot of advice on that last changeover. Monica should see the finish line only 2 games away, and she is a great finisher.
Very deceptive server is Martinez. I mean, it's a quick motion. It's hard to read. She can swing this one with a lot of spin out wide. It lands short in the court, so it can take the opponent into the doubles alley. And then she can also come up with a big one. She can serve in the 90s and in the hundreds.
15.
Seles going for the big pass. Got herself behind the ball and just missed it. It's very humid in this building. You can just see how much Seles is sweating and how hard she's working.
Well, Conchita Martinez first serve percentage at 54%, but look at that, 73 to 32, only 32% when she gets that second serve in. Shows you the importance of a high first serve percentage. Applauds that one. She knows she was stretched out on both sides of the court.
Martinez has definitely served better, and it's paying off for her. Gets a weak return, can attack. In the first set, she only served 45%. At one point in the second set, she was up to 89. It's dropped off a little bit, 63% now in this second set.
The Atlantic City Convention Hall for the Fed Cup final. I'm Pam Shriver with Betsy Nagelson, and coming up next will be the second singles match. Lindsay Davenport against Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. And there's someone looking forward to that encounter.
There are a few Spanish fans here. Things tied up here at 4-all. Seles was down 3-1 in the second set. She won 3 games in a row to take a 4-3 lead. And Martinez hung on to her serve to level things. Played from Martinez, kind of held on to that one, freezing Seles at the net. Martinez has so much a game. I mean, she's got every shot in the book. She's talented. She's fast. She's proved she can play on all surfaces. She won Wimbledon a couple of years ago, her only Grand Slam title on grass of all surfaces, denying Martina a 10th title in that final.
Yeah, beat up on another left-hander that day with a few backhand cross-court passes. Martina still has nightmares about that.
Good play from Seles there, coming up with her own winner off a pretty tough angle. Just look at the eyes. They're so focused. They're so tuned in. Reads the ball early. Look at that short swing. She just snaps her wrist to get all that pace. Her wrists and hips. Look how far back behind the baseline Martinez stands to return serve. Martinez plays better when she's forced to be aggressive, like she was at Wimbledon when she won it. The year before, she had gotten to the semifinals. That was her first ever Grand Slam semi at Wimbledon. When she has to, she can do it. But funny enough, she doesn't play that well indoors. She's won 27 titles in her career. The majority have been on clay. She has a couple of indoor titles. She beat Steffi in Philadelphia back in '93, and that was the first time in about 10 matches she was able to get a win over Steffi.
Wow, that last serve, we don't have a radar gun, but that last serve was way over 100. That was her fastest serve of the match.
Wait.
Monica wanted to try and have a comfortable service game at 4-all in this crucial second set, and she's up 40-15, 2 game points now. So Monica Seles holds serve for 5-4, and we will see if she can close out this very first Fed Cup match in the '96 final. Players talking to their coaches on the change of ends at this crucial moment of this match. Seles up 6-2, 5-4. Conchita Martinez will be serving to stay in the match. Monica redoing her shoes, making sure every last detail is ready to go for what is the biggest game so far of this match.
Wait, please.
Barrier's fallen down behind.
Well, we have a barrier behind the court that has fallen down, and a couple of
There's a
security
fixing it.
guards are trying to fix it, but I don't think now's the right time to fix it. Now they back off.
Thank you.
See, he's an usher. You know how I can tell?
Because you can read.
Betsy, do you think Monica in this game should stay away from the forehand side of Conchita, maybe attack the backhand side a bit?
I think the backhand side is more predictable for Martinez, and it's certainly less dangerous. Martinez got so much spin on that forehand side, and she can flatten it out and hit it very hard. You can strike a return like this. Doesn't really matter where it goes. She directs this one cross court over the lower part of the net and gets a tremendous angle. Tremendous body transfer. She's always down low, uses her legs and hips so well. Approach from Martinez. Tough for Seles to direct the pass. Martinez was looking for the two-handed forehand down the line. .30-15.
we're sitting right on that sideline. Conchita talking to Donna Butler about that, or at least giving her a look.
Wrong foots her again. Almost got away with it, but Celis was able to kind of snatch around and get her racket on the ball.
What do you think about that sideline call?
I think it was a good call. I think it was wide.
2 points from the match. It's 30-all, 4-5. Again, the wrong footing shot, the backing up the line is what set that up for Conchita.
It's a very well thought out strategy for Martinez. She started the match trying to yank Celis around, create angles. And I mean, she knew her only opportunity was to try to get Celis on the run, be aggressive, and then come at her wrong footing or directing the ball right at her. From Celis. That was a low ball.
And all that with a broken string. Conchita Martinez broke her string halfway through that rally, and she still hit 5 or 6 balls. It was incredible.
That's why she hit that chip forehand and came in, because you can't control the ball very well, so your goal when you break a string is to get to the net. I heard that sound, but we've heard so many miss hits that I didn't know if it was a broken string or just another miss hit.
So what an incredible time to break a string. It's now back to deuce. Again, 2 points from losing this match. Conchita Martinez is. She'll be serving at deuce.
Martinez hits with so much spin that it's common for her to break strings. Strings move around.
Forehand error brings up match point, the first one for Monica Seles.
There, that looked good and deep, looked like it landed on the line. A good play from Martinez, being aggressive, and that's been the whole change in the complexion of this match. In this second set, she became much more aggressive, started to attack, hit the ball a little bit flatter and move in when she got a chance. Missed volley sets up match point number 2.
That was a real messy forehand volley. I don't know what she was trying to do. Maybe a little drop volley, which she does like to do. But whatever it was, it's match point again for Monica Seles.
Thank you. She would have liked to have kissed her racket the volley before. She might have set up a game point. But Martinez has been in the net almost this entire game. Nice pickup, good hands. Tennis played in this game right here. That was an unbelievable passing shot that Sells was able to create with nothing. She made a shot out of nothing. The ball was just off the ground. Was able to direct it down the line to give her a third match point.